Hi, welcome to Chris Cook for You Too. Today I'm going to be doing a meal in one loaded chicken and shrimp baked potato. Okay, no, that's a whole mouthful, can be a tongue twister, but that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm going to show you how to do this, and this will be your entire meal will be in this one baked potato, but I guarantee you're going to love it. So here are the ingredients that you're going to need in order to do this dish. You're going to need, depending on your size, your family size, you're going to need one potato per family member. If you have small children, then a half a potato will probably do. Now, my potatoes, I've already washed them. I scrubbed them on the outside, put some oil on them, and I've baked them off. So that's why you see a little bit of wrinkle in the skin, because these potatoes are already done. So I'm going to come back and show you what I'm going to do with that. But you're also going to need, in order to season what you're going to be preparing, you're going to need paprika. You're going to need, this is vegetable, perfect pinch vegetable seasonings. You're going to need that. And this has salt in it, but you may need a little bit more salt. You're going to need garlic powder. And if you should need some extra salt, here is the extra salt. Now, I have 2 pieces of chicken here, and this is chicken breast. What I'm going to do is to put this on my George Foreman grill. If you have one, if you don't, you can bake it off in the oven. And I'm going to bake this, and then I'm going to chop and shred it up as much as I can. Here is the shrimp. I'm using fresh shrimp, but I'm going to saute them in the skillet, and I'll show you that. I also have mild cheddar cheese, and this is shredded cheddar cheese down here. I'm going to use the zest of 1 lemon, 1 stick of butter, because I have 8 potatoes. So roughly it would be like maybe a tablespoon of butter per potato. And I have here, and I'm trying this because I had it in my freezer. First I was going to use broccoli, but then when I looked at this is a lightly sauced green giant vegetable, and inside of this you got some carrots, you got some bell pepper, which is red, and you do have some yellow. You have some broccoli in there, the small cut broccoli, and it's in like a little light sauce. So I'm going to use this as the vegetable, but if you don't want to use that, use any vegetable that you want. If you're going to use Brussels sprouts as your vegetable, then you're going to have to cut those up into smaller pieces. But if you're going to use something like broccoli, just make sure that it's already chopped. And of course, you're going to need some sour cream. Now, I'm going to season. The only seasonings that I'm going to use is the ones that I have named. So I'm going to season up this chicken, throw it on the George Foreman grill, and I'm going to saute the shrimps in front of you. But let me show you how I'm going to cut the shrimp, because I did wash the shrimp and I have it already. And this was one, let me see, I think it was a 26 count shrimp. So this would be like your large shrimp, and it was 26 counts to the package. But if you see right there, it's already been deveined. I'm just going to cut through it. Okay, because I don't want it to be whole pieces of shrimp, and then I'm going to cut it in half. So you have these little pieces of shrimp, okay? And that's the way I want it. Let me show you with one more. I'm going to cut through the shrimp. And once I cut through it, I'm just going to cut it in half, okay? So I'm getting roughly 4 pieces to 1 piece of shrimp, because you want it to be bite-sized pieces. You want it to be bite-sized pieces with the chicken as well, and you don't have to use as much chicken. I have 8 potatoes using 2 pieces of chicken, so roughly I'm using 1 piece of chicken to every 4 potatoes. Now I am going to post this recipe at the end of the video, but it also depends on how many potatoes you're going to use and how large of a family that you have that you're preparing food for. That's going to make your seasonings, you're going to deviate in seasonings, and you're going to do the same thing with your shrimp and chicken. But I'm going to get this together, show you how I put it together, and I'll be right back. Alright, now I'm at the stove, and I have the 1 pat of butter, which is the 1 tablespoon of butter. in that back skillet back there, and in this front skillet over here I have 1 tablespoon of butter as well, and I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil to that. And this pan here is to fry up my shrimp, or to saute up my shrimp. Now that should be melted down in just a minute, and I'll add the shrimp. And you know, shrimp don't take that long to actually cook. Now over in this skillet I have my vegetables, so I'm going to go ahead and put my vegetables down over in this pan, because all I want to do, these vegetables are actually already cooked. The only thing I'm doing is to heat them up, and you actually can heat them up in the microwave. I chose not to do that because what I want to do, let me turn that skillet up just a little bit, okay, which I did. What I want to do is to be able to put my chicken in, because I want it to be heated just a little bit when I get ready to add it to my actual mixture. So I have the vegetables in here, and I'm gonna let them just get ready to salt just a little bit, to sauce up just a little bit. And in there is just this is just that lightly butter sauce that was mentioned on the outside. Now you don't have to have that, but that's what I have. Okay, now over in this skillet over on this side, I'm gonna get ready to add my shrimp. And I also have the seasonings that I showed you on the other side. It was the paprika, the garlic powder, that vegetable seasoning that I had, as well as some salt. Now you will have to taste this in order to salt to taste, because it may not be salty enough for you, and I do have some lemon zest right there. So I'm going to go ahead and start to add my shrimp bits. And I'm going to put all of this together back at the table. Okay. So this won't take that long to cook. So I got my shrimp down over in the skillet. And to my shrimp, I'm going to go ahead and add my seasonings. Okay. And I'm going to take this leftover just a little bit and put it in with that, because all of this is going to basically have the same seasonings, because everything is going to be mixed together. Now the only thing I have not added yet is my lemon zest, and I can add that at the last minute. Now while this is warming up, really, because it's not going to cook, it's only going to warm up. And I told you it was this is broccoli, carrots, and some different types of pepper, which is red pepper and yellow pepper. So while that's warming up, get these shrimp all together. And that little bit of zest that I have right there, that's going to give this shrimp just a little kick. Okay, and it would be the same thing as if you had lemon, because we have butter down over in the shrimp. It would be the same thing as if you had lemon butter. That's the kind of flavor that you're going to get from this when you mix it in with everything else that you are preparing. Okay. Now you know I did cut these into smaller bite-sized pieces. You can keep yours larger if you like, but it will be harder to bite. And you just want them to get like bits and pieces of chicken. You want them to be able to taste the chicken and the shrimp in their bite when they get ready to eat their potato. Okay, so I can go ahead at this point. I'm going to put this is my chopped up chicken. Remember I told you that I took my chicken from my George Foreman, and the only thing I did was just kind of chopped, and I kind of shredded it just a little bit. I'm going to place that on top of the vegetables. Okay. Now my vegetables are cooking underneath, and the only thing I'm trying to do is to get some heat to this. When I mix all this together and then I put it into the oven, man, this is going to be good. All I want to do is just get a little bit of heat. So when I add it to my butter and my potatoes, it'll have enough heat to melt my cheese, which is going to go on the top. Now I'm going to go ahead and put in my lemon zest. Okay, and this is going to have a nice flavor to the complete potato dish. Alright, and that's like about a tablespoon of lemon zest. You can smell that lemony flavor, and that's a tablespoon that was added to the 26 count shrimp. You can use any kind of size shrimp you want. This was the one I had in my freezer, so this is the one that I use. Now this is cooked enough, because once you can't see the total pink because mine is seasoned, but once the translucent color is gone from the shrimp and it turns like that pink, shrimp is done. Takes roughly about 5-6 minutes, and you don't want to cook it any longer than that, because you don't want tough shrimp. Okay, now back here, this is really all I need. Flipped a little bit out on the stove, that's okay. This is really all I need, because this is going to mix in and it will cook off in the oven. So now that that's done, I'll meet you back at the table. Okay, I held off 1/2 of my potato because I wanted to show you how to get this out. Now the only thing you're doing is, once your potatoes get done, then you're going to cut your potato straight in half. Then you're going to scoop out the inside of the potato. But that's because I got all of it sitting there. Make sure that you don't go all the way down and pierce this part. That you don't want to do. So you're going to scoop out your potato without getting all the way down to pierce it. When you get close to the bottom, then just stop. Just let it stop, because you will still be able to get that out once you get ready to actually eat it. Okay? So if you'll take a look at the ones that I have on the pan already, those are not all the way down. See? I didn't take them all the way down. I just left just enough of the bottom coating in order to hold my skin at the bottom together. Okay, so you're going to scoop this out with a spoon the same way that you see me doing it. Now, once I get close to the end, and I'm trying to get the last little bit because I'm not fearful of that. But once I get close to the end, then I'm going to put that back. And I'm going to move to what is the next part of this. Now, turning that way, here is my potato mix. Okay. This is the insides of my potatoes that I had. Now, I'm going to take and I'm going to add to this some butter. And that's going to help me to lubricate like the bottom. I'm also going to add 2 tablespoons of the sour cream, and that's just going to make it just a little bit easier. I want to get that up for me to actually blend this together. Now I'm going to blend it. I'm not trying to mash this. All I'm trying to do is to break it up enough where I can get the rest of my mix that's going into my potato. Now I'm going to add, just because it's a personal preference of mine, I'm going to add just a little bit more sour cream. That's my dog at the background, so someone's at the door. So you have to kind of overlook him. Okay. Now I'm going to add Just a little bit more. Okay, that's it. Now I'm going to step away and get a larger spoon, because I have a lot of potatoes. Now, I'm going to work with just this part. I'm going to do it all, but I'm just going to work with enough just to show you. In that, I'm going to add some shrimp. Okay. And I'm going to add some of my chicken and vegetables. Okay. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to fix up a couple just so you can see how this goes. I'm going to take my cheese. I'm going to put a little bit in the bottom. A little bit too messy. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to fill my potato with some of the mix. Now remember, I have chicken, shrimp, broccoli, peppers, butter, sour cream, and cheese. That's a lot. So that's a meal in itself. So you really don't have to. This is your family you're feeding, so I wouldn't really worry about my hands at this point. So you don't have to worry about adding anything else because you have everything inside of your potato. Just a little bit more of something to that. Okay. Down just a little bit. Okay, and if they look like they're not as healthy as you would want them to look, I mean full, go ahead and add some more stuff to it. Make certain that while you're doing this, that you're watching so that all of your potatoes get some of everything that you have mixed together. Now I have quite a few. My daughters are going to help me with this, but I did want to show you exactly how it looks. So I did put another piece of broccoli up there. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some more cheese on top of this potato. I'm going to do the same thing to the rest. Now you can do a taste test, because if this does not have enough salt for you, then you can always add some more salt. And if you're not comfortable, which I don't really care about dropping cheese down it, but if you're not comfortable with that, then put parchment paper up underneath it. I'm basically just trying to show you how this goes. Now, I'm going to rebake these potatoes because they're rebaked potatoes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in my oven at 350 degrees for roughly about 15 minutes. And we'll say 12 to 15 minutes. Let me go ahead and fill these two while I have you. Now this one has a healthy amount of meat. I can see just meat pieces all through it. Okay. Put just a little bit more. Okay. Get this up. And get that up. Okay, I didn't put any cheese in the bottom of that one. That's why I should have did it all at once. But that's good. That one can be mine because I'm not a lover of cheese anyway. My family is, but I'm not. Okay. Fill it. Let me get this all out. Alrighty. I want you to see some of everything. Like I told you, I'm not a lover of cheese. So I'm just gonna not put that much up on there. Okay. So if I need one to brace the other, then I'll just use one to brace the other. But I don't really need that. Add just a little bit more cheese to this one. Okay, and there you have it. Now I'm going to put these in the oven and I'm going to bake these off, like I said, for 10 to 12 minutes. And once they get done, or 12 to 15 minutes, depending, all I'm trying to do is to really warm or melt that cheese that's on top. Once I melt that cheese, then I can take it out and go ahead and serve it. But I'm going to go ahead and put these in the oven, and once they get ready, I'll be right back. Okay, I've taken it out of the oven, and I've already taken one out just so I could taste it, but I'm going to put 2 down on this plate just so you can see actually what they look out like. Okay, so I could have used a bigger plate, but that's okay. This is a meal in itself. Okay, that's how it looks. That's a meal in itself. Only thing you need to do, add you a fork and eat it. But before you do that, this would be fantastic with just a dollop of sour cream on top of them both. Now that looks good, tastes good. Don't forget to add your salt to it. And you're going to have a meal in one. It's a great meal. I think that you're really going to enjoy it. I hope that you try it. Thank you guys that have purchased my book. If you have not gone over to my website, www.chriscookforyou.net, go over there and check out all the items that I have. And as always, thank you for watching Chris Cook For You Too. Bye.